local businesses take a hit as Hongkongers head to the mainland for the long Easter weekend. Police smashed cybercrime and money laundering syndicates, arresting more than 500 people in a 10-day-long operation. And Beijing hosts the world's first humanoid half marathon. Good evening. You are watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. Border crossings continue to be buzzing with the Easter exodus, with more than 462,000 outbound trips logged as of 4 p.m. on the second day of the Easter break, 410,000 of which were residents. In contrast, the streets appear noticeably quieter, with many local businesses reporting weaker than expected sales. Taxi drivers are also feeling the pinch, with many struggling to find passengers. Jeremy Zhu tells us more.
The usually busy taxi stand at Admiralty presents a stark contrast to normal days. Instead of passengers queuing for cabs, rows of taxis sit idle as drivers wait for customers. Taxi drivers report extremely poor business, with this one saying his earnings cannot even cover his daily rental fees. This driver attributed the situation to the mass amount of residents leaving during the holiday period, leaving the city unusually quiet. Another driver admitted that he understands why Hongkongers prefer traveling north, given the better value for money available across the border. In Tsim Sha Choi's Haifeng Road, pedestrian traffic appears significantly lighter than usual. Restaurants report only about 60% occupancy during the typically busy lunch hour. A manager at a local noodle shop says their lunchtime revenue has dropped sharply from the usual $10,000 to just a few $1,000s. She also noted that customers who do come in are spending less than normal. Nearby pharmacies are seeing an even more drastic decline, with one shop's sales down 40 to 50% compared to regular weekends. The pharmacy manager explained this is due to the double blow of locals traveling away and the lack of mainland tourists, as Easter is not a holiday in mainland. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Police smashed 2 crime syndicates and arrested over 500 people on suspicion of fraud, cybercrime, and money laundering in a citywide crackdown, with losses exceeding $1.56 billion. Best Leung reports.
Codenamed Attack Plan, the operation targeted 404 cases, mainly involving online job offers, investment scams, and shopping fraud. Collaborated with the mainland police force, Hong Kong police successfully cracked down on 2 major crime syndicates between April 7th and 17th, with a total of 506 people aged 18 to 80 arrested. One cross-border vice ring used debit cards to purchase gold, laundering illicit process from scams originated in the mainland. Police also revealed that another crime group sent mainlanders to Hong Kong and opened stooge accounts in local banks by using forged mainland bank documents.
咁呢個研究生咧就正在入錢咧，就係去呢個可疑戶口嗰度。
One case involved a postgraduate student from mainland who initially dismissed police's warnings but eventually realized he was being set up by scammers. Police successfully recovered over $300,000 in losses for the victim. In a separate case, police arrested 8 people, some with triad background, on suspicion of using artificial intelligence and stolen identities to apply for loans and credit cards, successfully opening 30 accounts out of 44 applications. Chief Inspector of the Cybersecurity and Technology Crime Bureau Sun Yi-ki said 15 of these successful applications involved the use of deepfake technology.
The syndicate firstly try to use the deepfake technology to merge the scammers' facial features with the card holder's appearance, followed by uploading the scammer's own live selfies in order to impersonate the original Hong Kong ID card holders and pass the identity verification process.
Best Learn Cable News.
Chinese-built or operated vessels docking in the United States will face a port fee starting October, including those from Hong Kong and Macau. While business leaders in the city predicted the cost would undoubtedly be passed on to consumers, some suggested the possibility of switching to a Peruvian port for their cargoes. Simon Wong, president of the Hong Kong Federation of Restaurants and Related Trades, told a radio program that the port of Chanque in Peru, opened last November, had already saw 15,000 containers entering the South American market without needing to pass through the U.S. in the first 2 months of this year, despite not being in full operation yet. The business sectors will further explore in this. Meanwhile, lawmaker Jeffrey Lam, also a member of the General Committee of the Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce, said it may require better planning to switch to the Peruvian port in the near term, but in the long run, it could cut shipment time and transshipment fees. He stated that in the past, industries used to say that cargo shipments must go point to point, but indeed, the practice has changed many years ago to using sea transport and then switching to land transport, adding that the Panama Canal is not the only option. As the authority is preparing to submit the amended 10 Tobacco Control Measures Bill by the end of the month, the health sector believes stricter smoking rules will not deter tourists from visiting Hong Kong, calling for an even more complete ban on the use of e-cigarettes. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Once the bill is submitted, the possession of e-cigarettes could be banned as early as the second quarter of 2026. Flavored tobacco products will also be phased out. Taking to the airwaves, Chairman of the Council on Smoking and Health Henry Chong said some countries have long implemented tobacco control measures, and Hong Kong is merely playing catch-up. He argued that Hongkongers would not avoid traveling to Canada or the UK simply because menthol cigarettes are unavailable there. Tourists visit destinations for their attractions, not for the convenience of smoking menthol cigarettes on the streets, he said. Back in 2022, the government completely banned the sale and import of e-cigarettes. Tong said the current policy of banning sales but not use is unsatisfactory and believes now is the right time to fully prohibit the public from using e-cigarettes. He explained that when the law was first implemented, it was expected that residents with existing stockpiles would use them up within a year or two, hence the grace period. However, it has been 3 years since the law's passage in 2022. A full ban on e-cigarettes is now justified. The chairman noted that the bill submission is now already a year behind schedule. He said reducing the SAR smoking rate to 7.8% by the end of this year will be challenging, suggesting using video recordings and other methods in the future to improve enforcement efficiency. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
MTR services between Tung Chung and Sunny Bay stations will close early at around 11 p.m. to conduct the second turnout installation related to the Tung Chung Line's extension project. Free shuttle buses will be provided between the two stations to bridge service gaps. The last train departing from Tung Chung will leave at 11:01 p.m., while the final train from Hong Kong Station to Tung Chung will depart at 11:07 p.m. and leave Sunny Bay at 11:28 p.m. MTR reminded passengers who plan to take the last train from Tung Chung Station that they should board a shuttle bus departing Tung Chung before 12:18 a.m. in order to reach Sunny Bay Station in time and catch the last train heading towards Hong Kong Station. Special signages and directions have been installed at the two stations, with about 100 staff on site for assistance. MTR said they will complete the construction by target time, ensuring that normal train services resume the next day. The mainland's technological evolution went a step further after the world's first humanoid half marathon was held in the capital Beijing today. More than 22 legged robots representing teams from several tech companies and universities nationwide took part in the 21-kilometer race. Running alongside 12,000 human contestants, Tiangong Ultra, developed by the Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, claiming the championship by completing the race in 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 42 seconds. Just as human runners needed to replenish themselves with water, robot contestants were allowed to get new batteries during the race. Accidents due to programming malfunctions and insufficient battery life proved to be the perfect test for the robots, operating under complex circumstances. Most of the robots required support, with a few tied to a leash, while some were led by a remote control. Advance polls have opened across all provinces of Canada for those who want to vote before the general election, which will be held on April 28th. Ottawa's trade war with the United States looms large as Canadians head to the polls. Prime Minister Mark Carney, who took office just last month, called for a snap election after the coalition's support for his Liberal Party seemed to be fading. If re-elected, Carney plans to immediately enter into trade talks with the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump. His opposition rival, Pierre Poilievre of the Conservative Party, is imploring Canadians not to give the Liberals a fourth term. Trump's trade war and threats to make its northern neighbor America's 51st state has infuriated Canadians and led to a surge in Canadian nationalism. Poilievre wants to make Canada more self-reliant, especially in the energy sector, and vowed that a Conservative government will repeal red tape and high taxes. U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited the controversy surrounding the origins of COVID-19 by once again putting forward an unsubstantiated theory that the virus leaked into the outside world from a laboratory in Wuhan. A U.S. government website which featured information on vaccines, testing and treatment for COVID-19 has undergone a change to support Trump's baseless accusation. The online portal claims that a research lab in Wuhan did not have proper biosafety protocols, which resulted in the leak. The website page also accuses Anthony Fauci, the former director of the U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, for promoting the theory that COVID-19 originated naturally. The origin of COVID-19 has never been determined, and scientists are not sure if the virus jumped from animals to humans or was the result of a laboratory accident. An investigation conducted by U.S. intelligence 2 years ago concluded that there is insufficient evidence to prove either theory. Onto the weather now. Foggy in the morning with a minimum temperature of 25 degrees tomorrow. Overcast with sunny intervals in the following couple of days. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.